because it's blocked off. That road is closed.
Diagnosed years and years ago. Why would he say that?
I feel, unfortunately, that was a big error on his part.
Are you kidding me?
No, ma'am, I'm not.
What?
There is a lot more genetic testing now that
Right.
used to exist for Noonan syndrome. That's true. Said ears.
I have this wide carrying angle with my arm.
Oh, yeah. A lot of things that can overlap.
Mm-hmm.
We got a parking spot, and we are gonna get there on time. People screaming, it's crazy, bro. Okay, we gotta see where to go. Where's genetics? Where's genetics? I don't see it. I don't see it, so we gotta go ask. I don't see, do you see, I don't see genetics.
Okay, go ask then. I hope we're not in the wrong building.
Third floor.
Let me get your jacket.
Lord have mercy. In the children's ward.
So safeguard the adorable.
Yeah. So I'm gonna answer some questions. Gonna find out, did I get any the newer tests, like an insulin test, blood test, because there's other, stuff that causes that. We made it, but we're in the kids clinical ward. We went to the wrong building because I'm so used to going to the adult like building for routine checkups and everything, and routine appointments. I haven't been over here since I was 18 years old. This is really the kids unit. So, but I have to see this geneticist, and he's only in this building, so that's why I'm here. He probably is not here yet, so that's good. We went to the wrong building, and we had to rush over here. It was across the street. We had to walk in the rain to get over here. Heart is pumping fast.
Don't get that one. Somebody done used that one already. You don't know if it's germs here. Because they had it in the wrong spot. That means somebody was looking at it.
Oh, okay.
They don't have an adult place like this.
For genetics? No.
Yeah.
He's the only I think he's the only geneticist. I'm just gonna say I'm almost 30.
another job. So I want to stay here. I don't like it no more. And 7.
Okay, I will send that over to her by text, okay?
Thank you so much. Can you put urgent? Yeah, can you put urgent?
I sure can. Sure.
Bye-bye.
What the H?
Heck.
You don't have a doctor either.
Oh my
Piss.
Lord, when it rains, it pours. I ain't gonna lie.
Hello.
Hi,
How you
hello.
doing?
How are
Hi,
you?
doctor.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Do you remember us? Probably not. It's been years.
It's been a long
Little
Yeah,
was
sure.
her endocrinologist.
Was endocrinologist, right?
She's
So-
almost 30.
I'm almost
So,
30.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But you're still here. Awesome.
I'm still here on a part-time basis. Yep.
Oh,
Okay. Okay.
But yeah. So no, I looked at the charts. I know I've seen you in the past for the
Long time
Years
the
ago.
diagnosis of Noonan
Yeah.
Syndrome. That had been the diagnosis. And
Yeah. So you
what
see
can,
pediatrics?
Pediatrics and adults.
Okay,
Okay.
good. Because we're
We're like,
Aaron,
should I
you
be here? I'm almost 30.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's fine. What
Yeah.
I mean, what can I help you with today?
Yeah.
Well, I know that that's been the diagnosis, but there's been conflicting information. Like when I see different specialists, they
Some
say
of the
that
cardiologists you saw.
I saw a cardiologist here.
Yeah, I read all the notes from that cardiologist.
And what did he say, Aaron?
He said that it was never, like, there's newer tests that they have now that.
And it was never
that you
really
can-
confirmed that she has Noonan syndrome, right?
Right.
And I said, what? You were diagnosed years and years ago. Why would he say that?
I feel, unfortunately, that was a big error on his part.
Are you kidding me?
No, ma'am, I'm not.
What?
I'm
See?
sorry to say
For
that
him
I
to
think
say
that
that.
he made a mistake.
Okay.
So some of the things he said were true,
Mhm.
just not all of them. So there is a lot more genetic testing now that
Right.
used to exist for Noonan syndrome. He said in his note what you're saying, that
Yeah.
that the diagnosis had
Yeah.
never been confirmed by genetics.
Yeah.
Right, just,
And that your heart was normal,
yeah.
which is great.
Yeah.
In Noonan syndrome, people with Noonan syndrome, 50%
Oh.
have normal hearts.
Oh.
So,
Okay. But that.
so he
Right.
said,
Right.
while your heart is normal, that seems like it's not Noonan,
And that's
except for
so not
50%
true.
of
Right.
patients with Noonan have normal
Yeah,
hearts. So
right.
that was just an incorrect thing to
Exactly.
say.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he said that genetic testing had expanded, which is
Mhm.
true. He did the
Yeah.
genetic testing on you, which is at least that's what his note said.
He didn't do any
I don't
genetic
know,
testing
'cause
on you.
I don't
Well-
know, because I looked at the different tests that can be run, like blood tests,
Did he do
hormone.
any tests on you?
I don't know if I got any of that done in the past.
By him?
Like when I was a child, I don't know.
No.
No,
Sorry.
Aaron.
Heart is fine.
Perfect. Yeah.
Is that your understanding of what he said?
That I know when we looked back at it, it did say that I do have like
Oh.
a fast heart, like my irregular heartbeat, and I do notice that. So that's the only thing, like whether it's like a fast beating heart.
That's what he
heart
said?
rate. That's what it said on the test.
Told me about it. Did they run a genetic test on you?
I don't know what would that entail.
I mean, it
I
could
don't-
have been a tube of blood drawn, or it could have been a spitting in a cup, or it
Mhm.
could
I
have
think he
been
did
a
a
Q-tip
swab- a
swab
swab.
of your mouth.
He did. So that was the test then. They did a swab. The nurse.
So where's the result if that took place? Right?
I'd be happy to look at them, yes, but here, let me just pull up the chart.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to challenge you guys.
Oh no, I know you're not, and I'm like,
I'm
no.
just telling you what is written in the chart.
Exactly.
So
And if-
it's very easy to get, to not understand what's going on.
Right.
People don't do a great job of making it clear, of
Exactly.
explaining what they're doing.
Yeah.
But-
So I'm not surprised at all that they did this genetic test using a Q-tip swab, and they didn't really tell you what they were doing or explaining what they were doing. But it doesn't mean they didn't do it.
Mhm.
It just just means they didn't explain it to
Explain
you
it.
very well.
And then
And then,
the results should be in there if they did this.
no, unfortunately, that's not the way it works. But
Wow.
Had the when I was looking at the past.
But anyway, the point I'm going for here is that's also genetic testing is not 100%. So if you take 100 patients with Noonan syndrome
Mhm.
and you do this extended, fancy, new, better genetic test than
Mhm.
existed in the past, the genetic testing can confirm the Noonan syndrome in about 70%. 30% of patients with Noonan syndrome, the testing can't confirm it and the testing doesn't come back as positive because the technology is still not 100%. So the idea that your genetic test was negative doesn't mean you don't have Noonan syndrome. It just means we didn't find the genetic test positive for Noonan syndrome. So it can't, just like saying your heart being normal means you don't have Noonan syndrome. Well, that's 50-50. And the genetic testing being negative, yes, 70% of patients have a positive genetic test, but 30% really have Noonan syndrome and they really have a negative genetic test. So I don't know, is that the reason why you're here? Questioning, is Noonan the right diagnosis?
Right.
Right,
And
because
can-
I'm seeing all these specialists and I just don't want there to
And
be all
can
this
we-
conflicting
Can she
information.
get another test done?
Are there blood
Something
tests
else
that I
done?
can get taken? Insulin, because I read there's insulin tests, hormone tests, blood tests that can confirm, because there's a lot of different conditions that cause like short stature and that's why
Yeah.
they diagnosed me with that.
Right.
I mean,
Well,
I
she
know
does
there's-
have a lot of symptoms because she mentioned
I know
Turner
there's
syndrome.
Williams syndrome.
Turner
there's-
syndrome, right?
Yeah, Turner syndrome, Williams syndrome. These are different genetic conditions.
Another genetic test that can look for Noonan syndrome, we sure hope that's going to be developed.
Right.
But it hasn't been developed yet.
Okay,
But
but
The
what
science hasn't gotten good enough yet. So we can't, there's no more testing for
Right.
Noonan syndrome.
But
But
what
she
about-
wasn't. Wait, Aaron. But she was in a 30%, right? That said.
She would have been in the percent,
it
the
didn't
test is
show?
negative, but that
Oh,
she could still have Noonan syndrome. It
Right,
just didn't, this genetic test didn't say, yes, indeed, that's what you had. The genetic test said, we didn't find a mutation for Noonan syndrome, but that doesn't mean it's not Noonan syndrome, but
Right.
it didn't prove it either.
yes.
Mhm.
Can she take that test again? Then that same test.
Or rule out other conditions.
Okay,
that-
so yeah, these are
That's
two
what I
different
wanna do.
ideas,
Okay.
okay?
'Cause-
Let's address
yeah.
them separately.
Okay.
That the specialists
Okay.
are incorrect in saying Noonan isn't the diagnosis because the test was negative.
Thank you.
Because it's ignoring the 30% of patients with Noonan syndrome
There you
who
go.
the testing isn't positive in. And we shouldn't ignore those people. They're
Yes.
real, they have Noonan syndrome, this is a real thing.
Yes.
That was a mistake in your specialists.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, okay, so good questions about, okay, well, and it's very fair question to say, okay, well, I get it. I could still have Noonan syndrome,
Mhm.
but can we look to see if there's some other diagnosis that I have that maybe Noonan wasn't the correct diagnosis
Mhm.
from the beginning? So, let's see if you ever had any of that
Have
testing.
you
Now,
heard
Williams-
of the rasopathies? Yeah, they're
in the records.
Right.
At least I couldn't find it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, here it says. Now, some of the things that you were asking about, which are good questions about other diagnoses, and those are all good questions.
that mimic the same.
Yep, exactly.
Same.
Now, Williams syndrome causes intellectual disability.
Up to almost
I'd say some college. I didn't
associate's
graduate.
degree.
Okay, so you ever had testing for Turner syndrome in the past or not?
Like, are there records of what actual tests I had done when I was diagnosed as a child? Because that's what we don't know.
Yeah.
Start right.
Yeah.
So just make sure. Okay. I gotta step out.
I think you could just be at home. We can't use phones in here.
Well, can't. I see. The service is not working. Yeah. All right, let's see here.
And it's like, oh, my doctors are going
Yeah.
to not be able to vouch, you know, when I see these other specialists.
Sure. Okay, and then, so also,
I can't think of the name. I wish I could think of the
It's
name
okay.
that they diagnosed it.
okay, but I'm going to talk about some of the things I noticed in you.
Okay.
Wide neck, that's that your mom was just talking about.
Are my ears low? Because I think
Yeah, you got low set ears,
my,
and you have,
maybe my hair
and your
doesn't
eyes
cover
are,
my
are
ears.
spread apart, so you got hypertelorism. These are your medical problems, right? Let me see your hands. And then you got, clinodactyly. Okay.
Oh, I have,
So, then,
I have this wide carrying angle with my arm.
oh, yeah. Okay, now we're gonna look up Noonan. Okay. Here are the features of Noonan syndrome. Short stature.
Mm-hmm.
Short stature, dwarfism.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Here are the facial features.
Oh, I have a short.
Neck lengthens, accentuating web prominence, hypertelorism, low ears, scoliosis. I'm going through all the things that are part of Noonan syndrome.
Okay.
And so short stature,
Yep.
cognitive issues of any kind, scoliosis, the wide neck, the low set ears, the eye issues. All features of Noonan syndrome.
Do that because I had dental issues, dental work, a lot of dental work done.
Yeah.
I had braces for years, and
So part of what I'm doing here is, right, I understand it's perfectly fine and reasonable for you to be asking these questions, but what you're asking about is, you're saying there's a lot of things that can overlap,
right. Is this the
but
right
all
diagnosis?
these things are part of Noonan syndrome.
Yeah, I know.
So like
even
we're looking
you're right.
for something
Oh, yeah.
that doesn't fit as well
But all these
as
fit.
Noonan syndrome.
Yes, and
Yeah.
you're right. So
And-
I think it's appropriate diagnosis.
So
In I mean, I'm not a doctor, but
Yeah.
we've looked at all the symptoms. And I said, Aaron,
I mean,
this is
the only
clear.
thing I don't have so far is aching pain in the joints, right?
Yeah,
I'm
That's,
not
but that is a
finding
part
that.
of it. Didn't you find?
that's something I've been trying to figure out too. Is what kind of pain does it cause?
If
Because there's
any,
not a lot of research
maybe it
for
doesn't cause
older
any pain.
patients.
Right, there's not a lot of research for older patients. You're correct. So
Trauma ER, trauma bay 2, Dr. Stewart, trauma ER, trauma bay 2.
yeah, no. I see in the chart that you've seen a lot of skin doctors, dermatology doctors.
Yeah.
she sees a
A
dermatologist here.
hypertrophic scar, yeah.
Yeah.
Is what
What's the doctor's name? Doctor.
her name starts with an O.
Yeah. Yeah. But the dermatologist is here. She had to inject.
It's just
Steroid.
keloid.
I
Yeah.
had steroid injections to.
And is that mostly the
Just whenever I feel like I'm having like skin issues or something like.
so skin issues? Here, dermatology
Oh, yeah.
or Noonan syndrome.
See?
Skin differences
Oh
occur.
yeah.
Follicular keratosis.
Yeah.
Bye.
I will. Be safe. Bye. Can I give up a light phone? Mommy's gonna. Let me move this.